All right, let's see if we can make our playground. Playground is going to consist of some new tools and new skills. So we're going to start with a 4 foot, comma, 4 foot, a 4 foot, comma, 4 foot. And you can see that we have the asterisks down, or the apostrophes in the corner down there, the dimensions, 4 apostrophe, comma, 4 apostrophe, enter. So 4 foot by 4 foot. We're going to then push pull this up 4 and then shift apostrophe or quotation mark 4 inches. And then we're going to go ahead and split that in two. So let's click there. And now we have a midpoint, and then we can move that up, and we can do it 12 inches, or we can do 1 foot. So now we have a little bit of a roof. Now here's something new. We want this to be separate. We don't want to stick to other things. So we are going to go to the select tool, click, 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 select the whole thing, right click, make a group. So we've grouped it. So now it's separate and nothing is going to stick to it too onerously. All right, we need to move this piece up, and we're going to make it go up on the blue axis. We're going to make it go up 8 feet, enter. So now it has gone all the way up here. Now, when we go and we look underneath it, we need to make some pillars so it doesn't just levitate for us. So we're going to do a rectangle, and we're going to do a rectangle. We're going to pick this corner. So you always want to pick some place to inference from. So we're going to take that, make sure it's blue, and we're going to make it a 4 inch, comma, 4 inch, and then hit enter. So then once we have that, we're going to build our pillar by using push pull. We're going to push pull that thing down, and we're going to push pull it down 8 feet, enter. And so now we have a pillar that looks like this. All right. And then we're going to use our select tool, and we're going to go click, click, click. We're going to right click, and we're going to make that a component. Components are good when you're going to copy something multiple times, and then you can make changes in one, and it'll change into all. And so we're going to just call this a post. And we are going to say, okay. So there's our post. Now, if we have a post, we can edit this post. So let's see, click anywhere. Then we can go click, click, click. All right. So I click that, and then now I'm editing the post. Now, as I work with the post, I'm going to move it, and I'm going to select this point here, because what I'm going to do is I want to move a copy of it over to that corner. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to move it, and hit Control, and make a copy. And I'm going to click that endpoint there. So now I've got 2 of those posts. But now I want 4 posts. So then I can hit Shift, and then I'm going to hit the Select tool, Shift, and then click that. And I'm going to actually click out here, and then I'm going to click this one, and I think that should be good. And then I'm going to go ahead and start my move tool, and I'm going to escape because I want to do a good inference point. So I'm going to click this corner, click on that corner, hit Control, copy the 2. All right, now you can do it one at a time. I think I made a copy and made the component 2 of them, but that's okay. So what we can do now is we can investigate seeing if we have screwed up our model or if it's just still okay. So it's giving me that. So I'm going to select this. Now I'm editing the copy. So let's see if I can do an offset and make my offset a little bit bigger. So 1 inch bigger. And then let's see if it did it to both. Yeah, see, I copied it, and that's not doing it to both pillars. It's just doing it to the front one. So I'll just need to duplicate my efforts here very briefly. So if you do this to the first one and don't copy it, so let's undo that, offset, and make our offset 1 inch, enter. There we go. And then we can push pull that up. And we can push pull it up 1 foot. Enter. And we can do the same thing over here. Now normally you wouldn't have to do this, but I messed up by copying the component. So normally you would do the change before you copy. So let's go 1 foot, enter. So now we got this, we got our pieces. Now we're going to need to put a play platform in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to select anywhere else. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a rectangle down here in the bottom. Doesn't need to matter how big it is, just any height. We're going to push pull this up 2 inches. Now we're going to raise this entire thing up. So what we're going to do is we're going to click, 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 right click, make a group. And then we're going to select this whole thing, move it up, and we're going to keep it on the blue. And let's bring it up 4 feet. Nope. Let's try 3 feet. Let's try 2 feet. That looks not 2. That looks a little better. That's one thing I don't remember. All right, so now here's our platform, but it's a platform that's levitating on the inside. So let's see what we can do to make this look more appropriate. So we can push pull, but we can use other parts of our geometry to inference to. So what I can do is if I can take and move this, and let's double click. So let's edit the geometry, and let's do a push pull. Pull this out until it's on there, and then we can pull this out until it's even with this face. And so I'm using this outside edge to make sure that I go right to the edge. I'm going to back up, click this, go to the edge of the pillar, inference there. Now I'll come around to the other side and click this. And I'm going to go right to this edge here. Now, these pieces here are going straight to the outside of the edge, but these are on the inside, but I don't want them to be like that. So what I need to do is I want to draw a rectangle, and the rectangle I want to go from this intersection exactly to that intersection. And with that, we're going to do a push pull, and we're going to inference that rectangle to the edge. And so now it fits precisely a little carve out around there. So let's go back, rectangle, and we'll do the intersection, and we'll inference right to this intersection. And we're going to push pull this out, and I'm going to inference to that edge there. You can see as I pull it up, it said on face or to the edge. So there we go. We got that group done. And then I can click anywhere, and now I'm good. Now we need to make a wall on here, and the wall is going to have a series of, let's see, frequency tape measure. Yeah, let's a wall, and let's do it on. Let's see, let's do the wall on this side over here. Okay, so a wall. We're going to use this tape measure tool, and we're going to use this tape measure tool to pull a reference line. So I'm going to pull from this edge. I'm going to come in 1 inch. And then I'm going to pull another inference line over here. I'm going to pull that in 3 inches. So now I've got 2 reference lines in which I can pull from. So I'm going to pull this out, come in. Now I can see my entire shape here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rectangle. I'm going to use those inference points to build a rectangle that's exactly that big. And then I can push pull that rectangle up, say 3 feet. So now it's a 3-foot wall. There we go. That looks good. what we're going to do with this is we're going to draw a 3-point arc. 2-point arc, 3-point arc. So we're going to do a 3-point arc, and our first part of the arc we're going to inference to the inside edge. And then we're going to come back out. We're going to come somewhere like down in here, like there. And did I pick the wrong arc tool? 2-point arc. I do 3-point arc. Is that what I did? All right, let's click that, and then we're going to come back. Not doing what I want it to do. Click this. Ah, there we go. I don't know. Did I click the wrong thing twice? Let's click that. We can click this way. Let's do that way. All right, so now I just created an arc. You can create an arc in any direction you want. I mean, if you wanted to, you could create an arc that goes from here into there, and then you can make it go this direction if you want. Or you can pull it down like that. It doesn't matter. I pulled mine down. So let's go ahead and try this again. Click, and then we'll come over here. Go in, click. Let's try that. So I just clicked to release my tool. Now I need to click, and you'll see this blue on face. Click, and that cuts that shape away. And that is how we're going to cut all of our circles that go in here. So let's see, let's go with circles, and we'll do some circles. We won't overlap them. We won't keep them fairly big. And then we can use our push-pull tool to push in until you see the imprints. Gotta go gently. So once you have one, you can always just inference directly to, that should work. Just go into this. Once you have an edge to reference to, you can always just reference to that edge. All right, so now we have our wall with pieces. And then on this side, let's do our like jungle gym bars. So let's take a minute and let's go ahead and try to find a midpoint in this group. And so that midpoint in group, and I'm going to inference up and draw my circle. Let's do a 2-inch circle. And then let's go back and undo that because that's way too big. And let's do a 1-inch circle. 1-inch circle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a bar. Okay. So we're going to make a bar that goes from one side to another. So let's make a bar. Let's push pull that out. Push pull it out and rotate around over to this. There we go. Now let's go to our selector tool and go click, click, click. Right click, make a component. We're going to call this the bar. And then say OK. And then we're going to use our move tool. And then we'll use our click and drag it